John, Victory Friday. How's that sound to you?
Oh, my goodness. What an unbelievable game. And, I mean, expectations, hopes, dreams. I don't care what terms you use because those are the ones that we talked about the last couple of days. Do you expect to win? Do you hope to win? Are you dreaming it's a win? And they all came up, yes.
Aleem McNeil went down in that game. So the defense that was already depleted was, hey, phone call away from you playing. And they won the game anyway. And that's what we talked about. They had to be led by their offense.
Yeah.
4 of 5 on fourth down. I'm sure we're going to talk a lot about those fourth down decisions today. But Campbell said, I got to win with my offense. And he, to his credit, stuck to him. Those are 1 yard, 2 yard. You've got this offense. You're going to go for it. You're going to win the game. And John, they've won a lot of games. They've won 12 games, 11 in a row, and they've clinched a playoff spot 3 weeks before Christmas. I mean, it's unbelievable what this football team is able to do. Shorthanded, big spot, tough opponent, find a way to win.
Back-to-back 12-win seasons. And I think the biggest thing is we all know what this means for not just the division. You've eliminated the Packers from the division race. Now it is solely focused on the Minnesota Vikings. And if it comes down to it, you get them the last game of the year.
Bring it on.
I agree. It's in Ford Field last night, and I want to hear from Heather because it looked on TV like it was unbelievable. So Colin finally talked you into it, eh?
Well, yeah, I mean, I told you at the end of the show, he texted me and was like, dude, I'm fired up again. We got to go. So we worked out a babysitter. Grandma came through, got tickets. It was kind of like...
Grandma might be the MVP.
Magical. It was a freaking awesome game. It was so much fun.
I'm so excited to hear more about it because it looked like it on TV.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thanks, Grandma.
But it just and obviously everything didn't go right for the Lions.
No, Goff threw a pick. They didn't get one of the fourth downs in their own territory.
Yeah, but how about Tim Patrick?
Yeah,
the old guy.
You know what we're calling him? Timmy P.
Timmy P.
Yeah.
Timmy P.
Timmy P.
Out of nowhere.
What about T-Pain?
T-Pain?
That's already taken.
Yeah.
That's all.
He hadn't caught a touchdown since 2021. He caught 2.
I know.
In the biggest game of the season to date. Tell Timmy P, sure.
Yeah. It was so much fun to watch. And I kind of went through the same angst that you just mentioned, right? Aleem McNeil goes down. And I was at Ruby's basketball game watching it, trying to keep score at the same time. And then after the game, we're watching it on somebody's phone, and Aleem McNeil is walking off the field. I thought, oh my goodness, how is this possible? How is it possible? And then they said head injury, and I thought, oh no, I mean it's protocol. Apparently, it's not concussion related. It is some other type of head injury. I don't know if it's a wound, a cut. I don't know, but at least we know it's not. He's not in the protocol, so it's there could be some more definitive results from other tests or whatever to get him back on the field for the Bills. That's a problem or a discussion in 10 days or over the next 10 days. The defense. I thought this was under 100 yards rushing. I know it was 3 rushing touchdowns for Jacobs, but I thought the defense stood up and did everything they had to do with. I mean, we go from whatever we were calling the defense before to now it's no-name defense. We're talking about guys that you didn't even know were on the roster. Yesterday, I said a couple of names. You're like, huh? Wait a second.
I thought you were testing me. Could I slip a name in there that's not a real person?
It's unbelievable.
But
Pat Madrid starting at defensive tackle.
Exactly.
Right.
Ryan Valade is going to make a key tackle late in the game. No, it was Zeke Turner.
Right.
Who? Zeke Turner. Pat O'Connor. People know about him because he's an Eastern Michigan guy, and he played really well in the interior. But Pat O'Connor is he shouldn't be on a 2 deep for a playoff team, but there he is making plays for this team. And it's the next man up mentality on steroids last night. I don't think the defense was anything special, but they got a key stop in the red zone late. And John, you got to have someone pick you up. If you don't have your best on defense and you're just doing enough, you're going to need the offense to lead the way. And they did. Late in that game, time and time again. I thought the Packers' first touchdown drive was kind of a whoa moment. It was a 12-play drive, 7 minutes, 10 of the 12 plays were on the ground. They score a touchdown. It makes it 10-7. You go, okay, we're going to see what they're made of. You know what Detroit did? They marched right down the field and scored right before the half. So, they consistently rallied. Even when Goff threw that interception, his very next drive, march him down the field and into the end zone, the Lions go. Ball at the end of the game, it's tied. You got to go win it. And they did. And it's everything we had talked about. You got to win different ways. Some weeks they've won with defense. Some weeks they've won with special teams. Some weeks you got to win with the number one offense in football. And, John, that's what won them the game last night was this offense. And for anybody who wants to go, I didn't like some of Dan Campbell's decisions, you don't win the game unless he does all of them.
Right.
2 touchdowns were fourth down calls in the red zone. We're talking inside of 3 yards. You're playing to win the football game. He's not playing to put his defense out there. He's playing to win with his offense. And the fourth down at his own 31. I think that was the first play of the game where people might have gone, oh, no.
Yeah,
is Dan going too far? John, it's a yard. Maybe you don't like the play call going outside, but they showed everybody was mugged up around the centers and the guards. There was nowhere to QB sneak it, so they decide to attack the edges. They got swarmed. They lose the conversion.
Yeah. But
at the end of the game, the other fourth down, where he could just kick the field goal 40 seconds to go, and he's like, I'm not leaving Jordan Love a chance to beat me.
Right.
I'm winning the game. It's inches. I got David Montgomery. I'm winning the football game. I'm not playing to give them a chance.
And if you were listening to the broadcast at that time, it was Kirk Herbstreit doing, he old school mindset, right? Not Dan Campbell's, Dan Gamble, whatever you want to call him, go for it on fourth down every single time, fourth and short. It was, they called the timeout, and they're obviously going to kick it. And he went from they're obviously going to kick it to the offense stays on the field, and it was, they're going to try and draw them off sides. They'll let the clock drain down. They'll try and draw them off sides. If not, they'll call timeout and kick it. That was the old school mentality. And then they snap the ball, and Glasgow steps on Goff's foot, and he is going down. Reaches the ball out to David Montgomery. And I think the key block, we could talk about obviously you're going to run it behind Penei Sewell. Everybody in the world knows where that ball is going.
Yeah.
But it was Sam Laporta coming in motion to give him the best angle to get inside, because you had, Zeitler and Penei Sewell double team in the 3 technique. But I thought it was great play setup to give Sam Laporta the best available angle. And he's got to know at the time to slow down when he gets to that spot so that Jared Goff can snap it at the right moment and get inside that outside linebacker. I thought it was drawn up perfect. It was called perfect. It was executed perfectly. But the block of the day was actually Sam Laporta on that play.
It's a huge play in the game. Right? I mean, it cements the game.
Yeah.
And listen, you guys know I'll call it Dan Campbell decision aggressive when it warrants it. I don't think any of those were reckless decisions that he made yesterday. I didn't think they were reckless. You may have thought they were reckless out there in listener land. I don't think they were reckless. They were all 4th and 1, 4th and inches, 4th and 2. We're talking the stakes.
Yeah.
It's touchdowns. It's game ending. It's going for it. And the backdrop of it all is, you don't have your defense. You are on fumes on defense. You don't want to give them a chance to beat you with your defense on the field. Now, if it's 4th and 7, reckless, right? If you've got an elite defense and it's 4th and 10 and you're just, I'm doing it to do it because reasons, that's reckless. I don't think the decisions he made yesterday were reckless.